Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on YouTube channel James13 Wicca. I just want to make sure that's where you're seeing it. If you're not, I'm on YouTube, James13 Wicca. I'm going to put the decks and dice and stuff like that below. If you want a personal reading in person, I am in Herkimer, New York, or close to it, I should say, doing personal readings in Herkimer, New York. There's a store called Renewed and Rescued if you want to check it out. The hours they're open or the hours I can do that, just shoot me an email and I'll let you know if there's time available. Also, if you want a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. With all that said, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Sagittarius? Stop it. Okay. Sometimes I feel like I put out a whole deck when I when I'm doing readings. I'm just like the whole deck. Not today, thankfully. That's yet to be seen. Okay, I got my dice here if I need them. What is this starting from? Very strong energy is where this is starting from. Are you in control of this? The Magician. Yeah, you're in control of whatever this has been. Current, maybe. But definitely has been. Currently, maybe. It's the Hierophant card. The teacher here. It's a lot of structure. A lot of this is how it's done. Especially with Sagittarius, I keep getting... You might have had a very strong hand in the requirements that needed to be, the requirements, what needed to happen here for it to work. And it might have been like through trial and error, or just kind of like, this is what this has to be, and you got to have that, and this is too, and I don't know how you're going to get past this if you don't use that, and you got to bring this with you. I feel like I just kind of threw it all out there, and then I put it together. It's kind of like going through a store, just throwing everything in the cart, or whatever you want to call it, that you know you're going to need. But then when you get it home, you're like, okay, yeah, I got this for that. I got that for that. Oh, that I can use for that, actually. I'm glad I have that. I feel like I put it all together the way I needed to. I feel like it all worked out. Why is there like a challenge? Is there a challenge with this? Or, ironically, I think this is really good. You might feel restrained by your own situation. It's not funny. It's interesting. You might be blocking yourself in. Are you painting yourself into a corner? You might be painting yourself into a corner. Let's see. The Wheel of Fortune. And then 6 of Fire. But it's kind of like... It's starting to feel like it's not as successful as it was. Whatever you've done, it's really good. You've done really well with this. You've put it together very strongly. I feel like you feel good about it, and you should. It's a beautiful thing. You've had a hand in it for quite a while is what I'm getting, but it might be kind of limiting you now. It's kind of like, all right, you've done what you needed to do. I feel like the situation needs to grow, but maybe... It's like you've done your part. I don't know how to say this. I don't hope it doesn't sound bad. I don't feel like you're connected with it like you used to be, and maybe it's grown enough that now it needs to grow on its own. 10 of Swords with the 8 of Fire, which is speed. This is speed. This is devastation usually. I know what word are they using here? Surrender. I feel like things are changing very quickly, but I feel like you might have outgrown the situation. I don't know how this is going to sound. The situation may have outgrown you. I feel like we always have. Sooner or later, we all hit the point in life where it's either the situation outgrows us or we outgrow the situation. Sometimes both at the same time, sometimes not. It doesn't mean anything bad for anybody, but sometimes it's hard to hear it that way. If the situation has outgrown you, but you're a dynamic energy, that doesn't mean anything bad for you. This just means new doors are getting ready to open for you. Words, love words, do so well with them. The Moon card. Okay, so yeah, they're like, we're not gonna tell you, but isn't that fun? A door is waiting to open. It says realization, right? Yeah. There's doors that are yet to open for you. You're very dynamic energy. You bring a lot of luck, a lot of prosperity, a lot of good things with you. If this situation has outgrown you, it's because you're meant to do great things other places. It just reminds me of certain situations where certain people are really great at starting things. Certain people are very great at maintaining things. Other people are very good at shutting them down when their time has passed. In my opinion, it's not often that somebody's good at all three. Usually you have some people who are better, and it could be the point in life you're at. Just say you could transition through all those roles, but usually not at one time. And I get that might be a part of this. And there's a door waiting to open. I see it again. I see beginnings over here waiting to happen. But they're saying, whatever this is, I don't feel like anybody's pushing you out. I actually feel like people are maybe holding on to you a little too tightly. I don't know if I mentioned it with those cards, but the Moon card came out and the 10 of Fire, which is like struggle but success, and the Moon card saying there's a mystery here that's yet to be unlocked. I kind of feel like people are holding on to you too tightly. So for most of you, I don't think you're getting pushed out the door. I feel like I want to go out the door. You might be doing somebody else's work here too, by the way. That might be one of the reasons you've outgrown this situation, because it may have gotten to a point where you're doing somebody else's part along with your own. And maybe that's become old hat, but it's kind of like that's another reason you've probably outgrown this situation, because you're not only doing your role, you're doing other people's roles too. It's kind of like this isn't right. That's not right. You shouldn't be doing your work and other people's. You should be doing yours, and they should be doing theirs, and then you can prosper to the next level, and it doesn't seem like that's happening. So by you leaving the situation, it's kind of like, well, either make it or you don't. I do feel like with the strength and the surrender, people want you to do what they want you to do, and I feel like people might be holding on too tightly, and I feel like they have to surrender to their own strength. These are people who can do things themselves. But maybe because you're there, it's just more convenient to let you do it. Doesn't mean that's right, but maybe... I feel like people get in this trap with Sagittarius, because Sagittarius is very go, go, go. They get things done. They're very good. They're very helpful. I do feel like people get trapped in that thought that, like, well, Sagittarius... If I just leave it there long enough, Sagittarius will do it, and I don't really want to do it anyway. I'd rather go eat a sandwich or go talk to this person or just go walk around the building, whatever. So some people will push off their responsibilities expecting that you'll just pick them up at some point. I hope if you notice that happening that you don't partake in that. Don't do that. Do what you think is right. I mean, I shouldn't tell you to do or don't do anything, but I'm like, if somebody's just leaving it there because they don't know you'll do it, I'm just saying it's probably not your best interest to keep doing that. I'm just saying. You do what you think is right. Anyway. Going forward, High Priestess coming forward with you, and the Three of Wands reversed, which is like, the Three of Wands reversed is like, I'm not progressing anymore. I'm not going any farther. There may be a ship that's coming in, but you can have it. I'm not interested. And I feel like that's the current situation. Like, there's more things. There's new things coming in. We got new things. We got new vistas, new things. Are you ready to lead the way, Sag? And you're like, no, I am not. No. I don't know that it's going to be that I feel like resilience is kind of like, listen, I got other things over here I'm doing. I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to move forward with that. And I feel like I'm handing that over to somebody else. I've helped define this, put this where it needs to go, get this going, kept it going. But I think at this point, I'm transitioning into new things myself, but not what you're doing. Because it came in on the dice, it's kind of like, there are new things coming in for this situation, but it's like, you all need to do that. I'm gonna leave that for you. This situation has outgrown me, or maybe you've outgrown it, probably both at this point, the way it's starting to feel. Especially if you start recognizing that people are just leaving things because they know you'll do it instead of doing it themselves. It's kind of like, all right, we're going to leave that there. You can do that and enjoy that new vista. Enjoy that new connection that you're going to have with that. I'm not going to be a part of that. I've got other things to do over here. If you choose that, if you're willing to go that direction, which I feel like a lot of you are, because I get the stress here. It's kind of like, it was great at one point, but I do feel like that might be one of the energies where maybe you feel like the situation has outgrown you. It's not so much a negative thing. It's more of like, yeah, no, I feel like it's outgrown me, or I've outgrown it and I want to move on from it. If you're willing to let go and go in a different direction and kind of like send that off with other people, whatever the situation is for you, then your energy really kicks up to the next level. You got the Queen of Fire coming in. You're a fire sign. This is a great thing. The thing is, it's like, first we got to kind of like step it down, send it off to other people. I've outgrown, or the situation outgrown me. Here you go. Enjoy. Bon voyage. That's part one. Part two is making the choice about where you're going to go with it. It's a question of loyalty. Okay. I don't know. This isn't bad, but it makes me uncomfortable. So, okay, it's not bad. Like, if I step back, I know it's not bad. But if I'm in the energy, I do feel uncomfortable with it. A question of loyalty. This is usually the Chariot card, which to me has a very high level of loyalty. The thing about that card also, the question is this energy more loyal to themselves or what the group wants? Which, ironically, at this point in time, for things to benefit the best, for not only for you, but for people around you, that loyalty has to be centered on you, your self-loyalty. What actually makes you happy? What do you really want from life? But there's that guilt trigger. Oh, I really should be doing this. Or I really should be helping that one. Or that one really needs me. Or blah, blah. Somebody will always need you. I have not known one Sag yet that isn't very helpful. And I haven't known one Sag yet that doesn't get sucked into helping everybody. Everybody, I swear, everybody. But, like, you always help somebody sooner or later. It's like, I feel like Sagittarius are very giving. The ones I've known are very giving. So, I would say, don't feel bad about doing for yourself, because you will inevitably help people left or right sooner or later. Taking some time for you is not a bad thing. This next chapter going forward in your life will serve you best if you and you can even look at it that way, if that makes it easier for you to choose what would be the most selfish choice that would make me happy. If that's what helps you figure out what you actually want to do, I don't know, is that a catch-22? Would that actually work? What is it you actually want? If everybody was out of your way and everybody could help themselves, what would you want? What would you actually want? And then, once you define your self-loyalty, I feel like this could be a good thing. This could be a good thing. There's a fire card, 3 of Wands, going right forward, but like, I feel like I'm getting myself knee-deep in what I want so that I can't get out of it very easily. Take that with a grain of salt. You decide if that's right for you or not. Take that with a grain of salt. I'm not saying bury yourself in something so that you have no choice but to stick with it. But for some of you, I feel like that makes sense, and you know why if that does. Kind of like, well, if I'm here now, and now I got to finish it, so here we go. Because you got a lot coming out here. This is very curious to me. Because when I see blooming, I feel like there's already flowers there. And then you got new beginning with it. So it's kind of like, it might be revitalizing or really kind of like it almost reminds me of like working on like a sculpture, and it's kind of like slowly working at it and slowly working at it, and then all of a sudden like this new breath of life is like, not only am I finishing this sculpture, I got 10 other ones that I want to do, and I'm getting like knee deep into it. Or it's like, for example, like I haven't started it yet, but once in a while I toy with the idea of creating my own tarot deck. It's kind of like, all right, I got the border, I got the background, I kind of have the idea of it, but this is kind of like, well, now I've committed to maybe a 1.5 year timeline where I got to get this done. So it's like, all right, now I'm in it. I have been sort of working on it. I have been putting effort towards it, but now it's like, all right, now I need to do it. Now it's like it's like not only was I into it before, but it's like now it's like a lot more energy coming into it. It's like now I'm putting in a lot. It's like maybe I was putting 20% into it before. Now it's like I'm putting in 150%. It could go to that level if the energy is opened up in a way that you choose and you get into something that actually you want to do. Because I feel like for a lot of you, it's a continuation, but it's like I've been putting 20% in here, 20% in there, 20% in here, 20% in there. And it's kind of like, that's enough of that. Full board, 150%. Don't burn yourself out. I say that at the same time. Because I keep saying 150%. Why am I saying that? Try not to burn yourself out. Try not to burn yourself out. Regulate your energy. Make this as pleasurable as you can for yourself. Be aware of how your energy is going. Try not to burn yourself out. Because I want to say 150% constantly. And I feel like that's the excitement you have going into it, which is great. Make sure you eat well. Get enough rest. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. I'm just saying. Because whatever's coming in, I feel like you will create a rhythm with whatever that is. It's kind of like, it reminds me of like, certain songs have a certain beat to them, right? But just because like you could be dancing to the song, but you could switch it up the way you're dancing, but always keep the beat. That's the rhythm you're going to have. Does this make sense? I hope I make sense with this. Like you're dancing with the rhythm, but you're changing how you're moving throughout the situation. But you always keep the beat. You're going to create some type of rhythm here. It's not going to be like this is what we do, and this is what we do, and 2 hours later, this is what we do, and this is what we do. It's not going to be like that. It's kind of be like, you change it up every now and then. You move forward, you move backward. You just kind of move where it makes sense. But you're going to keep the beat. I'm getting you're going to keep the beat with this situation. You got the Page of Cups with the Ace of Cups coming in. Like, this is going to create its own energy. Also, if you do end up down this road, and this does play out for you, be forgiving to yourself. It's not all or nothing. More than likely, especially because I said 150%, you're probably going to overdo it at certain points. It's just, I feel like that's a Sag thing. I just feel like that's a Sag thing. Be forgiving to yourself. Let yourself reset, and then just get back into the song as you need to, and just learn from like, all right, what did I do last time? Okay, that was too much. Let me do it this way this time. Just keep trying different methods. And just be forgiving to yourself. Oh, overdid it again. Oh no. All right, let me reset. Let's get back into the song again when we're ready. And then just keep learning. Just keep doing that self-audit thing. You'll do well. You'll do very well. Don't worry. I won't worry. Don't worry. I don't worry for you. I think you can do this. You're going to be good. You're going to be good. A lot of did I show this card? Like, this is really, really, this could like usher in a really, really pleasant time in your life, a really, really pleasant time in your life. Are we good? I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a good day.